Have you ever stopped to think that the biggest event in human history has yet to happen? What if I told you that our reaction to the first contact with an extraterrestrial civilization will not be like in the movies, but rather a chaos that could rewrite the future of our species? For decades, science and fiction have prepared us for an encounter, but the truth is we are totally unprepared. What is about to be revealed here is not about ships or aliens. It is about us and what we truly are. Prepare yourself, because the final revelation will show that humanity has a fear much greater than invasion, the fear of discovering the truth. Today's topic is extraterrestrial contact and how humanity would react. The central thesis is clear. Alien influence is not a question of if, but of when, and more importantly, of how we will deal with the collapse of all our social, religious, and scientific structures. The conventional narrative tells us that we are at the top of the evolutionary chain, unique in the universe. But what if that narrative is a convenient lie? It's time to question everything. Science ignores it, but history is full of signs that we are not alone and that this knowledge has always been suppressed. Skepticism is our first line of defense, comfortable denial. It is easier to laugh at a UFO sighting than to admit that our worldview is fundamentally wrong. The problem is not the lack of evidence. It is the lack of willingness to accept it. Why does the scientific community, which prides itself on its open mind, close its eyes to inexplicable phenomena that have persisted for millennia? The answer is simple. Alien contact is not just a matter of biology or physics. It is a matter of power. The revelation that something much more advanced exists out there dismantles the hierarchy of knowledge that sustains our world. But the facts are here, and they force us to consider the unusual. Let's start with a social stress test, the famous Orson Welles effect. In 1938, the radio broadcast of The War of the Worlds caused widespread panic in the United States. People fled their homes, believing they were being invaded by Martians. Coincidence? I don't think so. What this tells us is that, even with the technology of the time, the suggestion of contact was already enough to break the reality of thousands of people. Imagine now, in the age of instant information and social media, where truth and lies blend in seconds. The 1938 panic will be just a rehearsal for what is to come. The fragility of our collective psyche is the first weak point that real contact would exploit. What happens to faith when we discover that we were not created in the image and likeness of a single God, but are perhaps the result of a cosmic seeding? The world's great religions, which offer comfort and moral structure to billions, will be confronted with a truth that nullifies them. The ancient texts, full of angels who descended from the sky and chariots of fire, will be recontextualized as accounts of paleo-contact. The reaction would not be one of peaceful acceptance, but of an unprecedented crisis of faith. Millions would seek answers, and their absence in traditional religious institutions would lead to a dangerous spiritual vacuum. The most irrefutable proof lies in the next point: the way politics and power try to control this narrative. Why do world governments spend billions on space defense programs and maintain secrecy about UFO sightings? The official answer is national security, but the truth is deeper. The government's fear is not that aliens will attack us, but that the population will lose confidence in their leaders. The revelation that we have been deceived for decades about the extraterrestrial presence will cause a revolution of distrust. What happened next is even more bizarre: the way the global economy would be destroyed. Think about the implications of alien technology offering clean, unlimited energy, or a cure for all diseases. The fossil fuel, pharmaceutical, and defense industries, which move trillions of dollars, would instantly collapse. The reaction would not be one of celebration, but of an economic war to suppress this technology. The holders of financial power would do anything to maintain the status quo. The stock market would crash to zero, and currency as we know it would become useless. Alien contact is not just a scientific event. It is the end of capitalism as we know it. But the most impactful evidence, the key moment that ties everything together, is not in the past, but in the present. The Pentagon, the most skeptical institution in the world, now admits the existence of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. They are no longer denying, they are reclassifying. Why this change now? Because secrecy has become unsustainable. The final revelation is that humanity is not reacting to a future event. We are reacting to an ongoing event. Contact has already happened, and our reaction has been denial, compartmentalization, and suppression. The real climax is not the arrival, but the understanding that we have always been under observation, and that our history is just a chapter in another civilization's book. Our reaction will not be unity, but division and fear. Our history, as told to us, is a series of linear and predictable events. But what if extraterrestrial contact is not a future event, but a recurring pattern that humanity has been trying to erase from collective memory? Which leads us to question, if humanity's reaction to contact is chaos, is that chaos accidental or deliberately orchestrated? Let's dive into archaeology, the field that should be the guardian of our history, but which is often its censor. Think of the megalithic structures that defy the logic of ancient engineering, like Puma Punku or the pyramids of Giza. Official science insists on copper tools and brute force, but the precision of the cut and the weight of the stone suggest a technology that humanity would only master millennia later. Coincidence? I don't think so. These constructions are not just monuments. They are petrified evidence of an intervention. What if humanity's reaction to contact in the past was to deify these beings, transforming advanced technology into myth and religion? The proof that contact has already happened is hidden in plain sight, in every stone that traditional archaeology refuses to explain. The transition to the next point is crucial, as it shows how alien technology may have been the seed of our own destruction. What had happened if alien technology, instead of saving us, were the cause of a global catastrophe? The paleo-contact theory suggests that ancient civilizations, such as Atlantis, may have reached an advanced technological level, perhaps with the help of beings from other worlds, and self-destructed. Which leads us to a terrifying thought. Alien contact is not a ticket to utopia, but a warning of extinction. Our reaction today would be the same, the incessant search to replicate and militarize any technology that falls into our hands. What happened next is even more bizarre. The way nature itself seems to conspire to prepare us for contact. Crop circles are often ridiculed, but the mathematical complexity and geometric precision of some of these patterns defy any human explanation. They appear in a matter of hours, with no trace of entry or exit, and often contain coded messages pointing to star systems and complex equations. Could this be a form of nonverbal communication, a cosmic IQ test to see if humanity is ready to decipher a message? Our reaction to these phenomena is denial and attribution to hoaxes, which proves that we are avoiding the conversation. Humanity is afraid to admit that Earth is a chalkboard for a higher intelligence. Finally, consider the gradual approach syndrome. Why, if aliens exist and are so advanced, do they not land on the White House lawn? The answer may be that they are getting us used to the idea. The exponential increase in UFO sightings, the gradual release of government documents, and the change in media tone are not accidental. It is a cosmic public relations campaign. Our reaction, slow and gradual, is exactly what they expect. They are preparing us for the shock, but the real shock will not be the sight of the ship, but the understanding that we were manipulated into accepting this reality. But the most irrefutable proof, the key moment that ties all the evidence together, is our own nature. Humanity, at its core, is tribal, divided by borders, beliefs, and resources. The idea of a common enemy or savior should unite us, but history teaches us otherwise. The final revelation is that extraterrestrial contact will not be an event of global unity, but the catalyst for our greatest division. The fear of the cosmic other will be superseded by the fear of the human other, the one who will react differently, who will have a different interpretation of the message. The real climax is not the arrival. It is the war we will wage among ourselves, deciding who has the right to speak for humanity. Our reaction will not be peace, but conflict and distrust. The truth is that our reaction to contact is not an unknown. It is a historical pattern that repeats itself. Whenever a more advanced civilization meets a less advanced one, the result is domination or assimilation. Why would it be different with beings from another planet? Our arrogance makes us believe that we will be the protagonist of a science fiction movie, but we may just be the footnote in another species' history. The first instinct of any superpower would be the militarization of contact. Forget diplomacy, the first question would be, how can we weaponize this? The history of ufology is full of reports of UFOs being chased by jet fighters, and military bases being the epicenters of sightings. What does this tell us? That our immediate reaction is aggression. Extraterrestrial contact would not end wars on Earth. It would escalate them into a cosmic Cold War. Every nation would desperately try to reverse the technological disadvantage, and the planet would become a proxy battlefield for cosmic interests. What happened next is even more bizarre. The way our own biology will betray us. Think of the history of the colonization of the Americas, where diseases brought by Europeans decimated native populations who had no immunity. Now, imagine a scenario where contact is not just technological, but biological. A simple virus, harmless to the alien species, could be the end of humanity. Our reaction would be global health panic, the closure of borders, and suspicion of anyone who has had contact with the other. Science would race against time, but the difference of millions of years of evolution could make the cure impossible. Alien contact is not just an existential threat. It is a biological threat that our medicine is unprepared to face. The uncertainty and fear generated by contact would lead to extreme social fragmentation. On one side, we would have the skeptics who would deny the evidence until the end, and on the other, those who would embrace the new reality with an almost religious fervor. The emergence of contact cults would be inevitable, with charismatic leaders promising salvation or enlightenment through obedience to the star gods. Our reaction would not be unity, but a cultural war where truth would become a commodity and mass manipulation the most powerful weapon. The most irrefutable proof lies in the next point, the way the very nature of time and space would be questioned. What if extraterrestrial contact is just the first step toward an even more shocking revelation? That our reality is a simulation. Alien technology, so advanced it seems like magic, could give us the key to understanding that our universe is just a computer program. Our reaction to this truth would be a total loss of purpose. If everything we know is an illusion, what really matters? Alien contact is not just the discovery of other life. It is the discovery of our own insignificance and the destruction of free will. But the most impactful evidence, the key moment that ties everything together, is our capacity for adaptation. Humanity is resilient, but this resilience is tested to the limit. The real climax is not the arrival. It is the day after. The day when the initial shock wears off and humanity has to decide whether to fight for its autonomy or surrender to the new cosmic order. The final revelation is that our reaction will be a mixture of denial, panic, war, and finally, a slow and painful acceptance. Contact has already happened, and our reaction has been denial, compartmentalization, and suppression. The real climax is not the arrival. It is the understanding that we have always been under observation, and that our history is just a chapter in another civilization's book. Our reaction will not be unity, but division and fear. Recap: extraterrestrial contact will not be a single event, but a cascade of social, religious, political, and economic collapses. The importance of questioning the official narrative has never been more crucial. History is not ours. It is an edited version to keep us under control. The truth is out there, but the biggest challenge is what we will do with it. If you made it this far, it's because the truth bothers you. Like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next revelation. And now, the burning question: what is your craziest theory about what would really happen on the first day of contact? Leave your comment. Let's debate the truth they are trying to hide. And check out this video here, where we explore the evidence that ancient gods were actually astronauts.